Hey everyone, what's up? This is Gavin from War Torn Creative.
And this is Jared.
Yeah, you're here too.
Yes, I am. I'm all up in this.
Yeah. So last week we played a game of Dark Angels versus Skitarii. It was my first open play game in 8th edition against a player who hasn't played 40k since 4th edition, Jacob. And he played my old Dark Angels list that I've been keeping around just for display
And
purposes.
unfortunately, he could not make it today. So I'm just going to, this is our debrief where I'm going to pick Gavin's brain and discuss what's going on with the match itself. As we've found out that we've rolled on the objective, the winning conditions, right? The primary, what's the term?
I think it's the primary objective.
All right. And it was Ancient Relic.
Yeah, so there's 3 main objectives that you can get in open play. One of them is Ancient Relic, which is after you've set up 4 objectives, you just take 3 of them away and randomly pick, after you've picked one randomly. And we had a I guess it was semi-central. Wasn't exactly central, it was kind of towards the top left, I believe.
Yes,
of the battle grid.
Actually, no, it's a little bottom.
Oh,
left
so it's
center.
Bottom left. I'm thinking of it from how I was playing it, where it was top left.
Yeah, we were
for
kind
me.
of standing on the other side.
So I really, by the way, I love in open play the deployment method where you're altering. I haven't played a match play game yet. Have you? Is that a part
we
of that?
alternated deployment as well, and I think
Okay.
that's going to be the standard form for just all the matches in general.
Cool. Well, I love that in Sigmar, and I really liked it in open play. It made me think a lot more about my deployment. I decided to opt into getting most of my bodies really close to the objective, and then put some heavy hitters off to the side as a kind of distraction. Also, it gave my Onager Dunecrawler a really nice line of sight towards everything he was putting into that building.
He was being Jake was being very defensive with his placements. Still kind of thinking in that early edition mindset. And we're going to be like halfway through his deployment. We're like, hey, those vehicles are actually a lot more durable than they were before.
He was expecting them to be popped, and that's not happening. Not with only one neutron laser.
Yeah, and boy, did he get really aggressive with the Rhino as time went on.
Oh yeah, and I hated it so much.
So so you essentially got to deploy first. Actually, you know what?
And I was the underdog as well.
Yes, you were also the underdog.
Coming in at, I think, 49 total power level against a 54 power level.
It was 54 to 49.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that did not get you a commandery roll.
Yeah, it needs to be 10 points or more in open play for you to get a commandery roll.
Yes, that's right. Also, we never followed the. We had the warlord traits.
Oh yeah, we forgot. I think I may have actually saved my warlord from Samael in the fight.
Did you save him?
If I use that warlord, because I had the thematically more Skitarii version of warlord trait. But if you don't remember during the game, how are you supposed to use it?
Yeah.
So
as we see, you're doing your first turn here.
So here I just moved I've got my Vanguard. Those red guys are the Vanguard. I moved them into the crater just to get them some solid cover. And just moved them up a little. Couldn't really do anything beyond that. Wanted to make sure everyone had cover. And they were directly in front of the Tech Priest Dominus. I didn't want anything to happen to him. New character rules. I guess I could really get him closer. I don't know why I didn't put him in cover, because there isn't the 1-inch rule for friendly models. So I could have had him right all up in it if I needed to. But I just decided to keep him back. I'm learning as I play. So.
And you didn't really shoot to much effect. And
I don't think I shot. Neutron laser didn't do anything. My snipers didn't do anything to the librarian, which I had some line of sight on. I pretty much just moved up my infiltrators and my Onager Dunecrawlers and picked Shroud Psalm. Meanwhile, Jake moved everything into one location in the bottom right. So and he started to pick on me with my Vanguard. And at the time, I wasn't really thinking much of it. But as I saw later, Skitarii Vanguard in large quantities at their full 10-man strength are terrifying.
Oh, yes.
They are essentially guardsmen now, where they are not very survivable, but their weapons, their base weapons, are a lot more thrifty than the standard last rifle.
Yes.
So at this point, I'm just kind of hoping as he unloads everything he can into my Skitarii. Maybe I'll have some of these Vanguard left if I'm really lucky.
Yeah.
I had Shroud Sawmom. That doesn't really work for the
Those
guys in the
already
crater.
cover, yes.
It did keep some of my infiltrators you see in the bottom center of the board. They survived some serious shooting at them. Not by much. I think it was just one
down to
model
one left. It was some,
but it was still there, and that's okay.
Yeah, he did some. Jake actually did a really good job utilizing a lot of the psychic abilities because I believe he used smite onto your infiltrators and averted the vanguards in the crater. But as we see as we're watching here, that it's kind of a moot point as you were getting literally killed to a man.
Yeah, and here I am. I think I'm about to take. I'm about to take my.
Yep, you just did.
Yeah, and. So I took during the battle shock phase, or not the battle shock phase, I'm thinking morale phase. I rolled, it's a -1 modifier I had. So no matter what I rolled, I would have lost him. But the infiltrator princeps stayed strong, which was great.
Oh, yeah.
I was excited about that. So I'm hurting a little here. So I haven't done anything in my first phase. I really need to do something. I have to make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily during this phase, I get some really choice charges and end up tying up some stuff and really putting him in a bottleneck because the way he positioned himself, which is really strange for Ravenwing heavy list, very clumped up.
Yeah.
So,
which is also surprising, especially well, not really surprising now in 8th with the absence of because if this was 7th edition, being that clumped up would have been dangerous.
Oh yeah,
especially against your Dune Crawler. But I think, he's making use of the fact that templates are no longer a thing.
He is definitely hiding from the majority of my guns, which, I should have been a little more aggressive with, but in the end, I'm still happy with how I ended up playing. I took some risks here. I really wanted to punish him for clumping up together and just completely put a roadblock. And luckily, I get some good shots off. I managed to put a mortal wound on the librarian from my Transuranic arquebuses. And... I get some good charges. There's a Dragoon into the Librarian. I get the Skitarii Rangers.
You alled in on that Rhino.
Into that Rhino because I hate that Rhino. It's my Rhino, but I hate it. And you can't see it, but on the very bottom, or I guess you can sort of, the very bottom of the board, we have a Dragoon and the single Princeps both making it into the tack squad, which was great because I now have that entire part of the board blocked up.
You drew a line right there for him to deal with.
Yeah. The one thing I didn't like is that my Tech Priest Dominus is just standing back there. I should have pulled him back. Mm-hmm. But in my mind, I was kind of thinking of using as a little bit of bait because I didn't really care. It was open play. There's no Slay the Warlord, so I was just playing a little willy-nilly with him. He's a Dominus. He's survivable, but not super good. Mm-hmm. He's just kind of there to provide buffs and healing.
So what was your mindset of keeping the other Vanguard squad in the building this entire time?
I knew I had range on the objective. Mm-hmm. And I knew he had to come to that objective to win this game mode.
Okay.
So the idea was I wanted them to be at full strength when he was in range.
See, that's when you killed the Rhino down. You got the Rhino down to 1.
Yeah. Oh, that killed me. I was so close, but no cigar.
And he just
backed up. But luckily, he still puts him the Rhino is a big boxing model and it does block a lot of line of sight. So I knew in this scenario he would have had a huge pain in the butt. And I have my Rangers, which I didn't really care about. It's a 5-man squad with no special weapons. I just kind of had them there. Although nowadays Rangers, I'm thinking 7th edition at this point. Rangers have the equivalent of the Intercessors Space Marine bolt rifle.
Yep.
With that strength 4 -1 AP. So here we have Samael.
Samael being super aggressive. He was actually, so we actually talked about this in the video. He had, I put forth the idea they had 2 options, being super aggressive or playing more conservatively, which that's what I would have done.
I know you always play defensively.
Yeah. I would have,
no fun.
I would have fell back a bit, cleaned up the lines and then just trudged forward as a force of 1. But he goes for this big long bomb charge, which I
honestly,
don't fault
the
him for.
the Ravenwing are known for being able to, I guess, split their fire.
Unit
yeah,
bolters.
At the time,
bikes are So in bikes are still good.
Oh yeah,
they're expensive.
They're very expensive, but oh my god, the amount of bolt fire that can come out of them. 4 shots now.
Twin
each?
bolt guns.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, they went up significantly in price, but I still value them really high. At some point, I'm gonna want to try out.
And at 2 wounds a model, by the way.
Yes.
It used to hurt so bad when the old bikes. A wound, you lose a bike. Mm-hmm. A bike is a very powerful platform.
There goes Sammy. Ready to
charges into my Dominus.
take your lunch money.
He is going to take my. And oh my God, Samuel's worth all. I think he's still 200 points.
He's so good.
But I need to double check that. But he is worth every point because my God, he just took my lunch money with that Raven sword.
Stuffed him right in that crate there.
The one thing we didn't do correctly here is that he
he fell back wrong.
He is not allowed to fall back. If he's going to move at all, he has to consolidate 3 inches towards me.
Yeah, we actually caught that later on.
But
but it was a moot point
because I melted him in the next turn. As we're about to see. But as you can see, the one I do want to point out here, it's the end of his turn and it's going into mine, and all of his stuff is still just jammed in that area.
Yes.
And that's, as far as I'm concerned, a win for me because he's not on that objective and he's not pressuring my backfield.
And the Dragoon and the Infiltrator, I believe, we're still holding the line there.
Yeah.
Still kind of keeping that plasma unit.
Yeah, he ended up making I made some, stereotypically bad rolls, and then I started to kind of heat up later in the game, but it wasn't quick enough because he was still making his 3-up Space Marine saves, and all of my taser weaponry is AP 0, so those 3-up saves are really rough unless I'm putting on a lot of wounds, and I just couldn't really do that.
Yes.
I think I might be running my Dragoons in squads now.
Yeah.
They're really powerful, and they've gone up in points a little.
How many points at the end of it? Like, with all the fixins, how many points are they?
I believe over 50 now. I'll need to double check. It's been a while. I've been playing with my Tyranid list.
That's still pretty
not
good.
As much. Yeah, they used to be 45 points. Now they've gone up a little.
Well, I definitely see a lot of value in them, especially with how Assault's gotten so much better for 8th edition.
Oh, so we blinked and missed it, but I unloaded into my Vanguard into Samael. Those 2 wounds, or those 3-shot assault weapons on 6 is doing 2 damage. Just wrecked him.
Us missing it by blinking is exactly what happened.
We blinked and he turned into an irradiated goo.
Yes, right in that drainage.
So he finally decides to declog his lines, charges forward, and he starts putting some hurt on my Vanguard. But luckily, I don't lose too many. I have enough that I put some plasma shots into it. And at this point, I know I've already lost. Because I wasn't doing the damage to those tack squads that I wanted. Honestly, if we had gotten to the point where all those tack guys were dead, even if it was a Dragoon on 1 wound or it was just the Princeps, I would have felt a lot better.
Yeah, I think that if your Dragoon just held just a little bit longer,
he had some really good rolls and I had some notoriously bad rolls. But that's okay. That's how the game happens sometimes. But I think I started to really make him work for that win. At the end.
Yes.
Because you can see that I'm taking some models off. His attack bike is gone. The one thing I'm really disappointed about is I didn't kill that Librarian. The Librarian you can see here is hiding behind that.
Which is a fair strat.
Yeah, it's a fair strat. But he has 1 wound left, and I really... Psychers are so powerful in this edition.
Yeah,
they're so good. They're not doing anything ridiculous and unfair.
Yeah.
They just offensively... quite powerful.
Yes, yeah. The smite's so good. I'm definitely looking forward to it because I do have a Librarian on a bike. Just having him rove around with a bit of a bike squad, just like having headaches everywhere and giving everybody more.
Wounds. Oh, I'm so excited about my Tyranids. By the way, all of them have big boy smite.
Oh, geez,
not little boy smite, big boy smite.
Oh, that's good. Even the Flyrant, right?
Yeah.
Oh. That's going to be so good.
So I'm really excited about... Okay, so right here, he's just moved forward, and it's pretty much... I know I can't win because it's turn 5, and it doesn't go to turn 6 and only war.
Yeah.
No matter what. So I know I've already lost because I can't make a move to get on that objective.
But now he's in your sweet spot for all your guns.
Yeah, so I just unload everything I can, and as you can see, he goes down. He's just taking off bikes, and that Vindicator, what is it, 5 wounds left before I
think it was within 5. Yeah, it
has
hit
11
5.
wounds total, and then I think it hit down and went down to 5.
Because he ended up being... his ability to shoot started sucking a bit.
That was great. I'm really loving vehicles in this edition.
He's got so much value all over that Librarian. But really quick, what would you have brought? Like, do you think your list was fine for this matchup, or would you have changed?
Honestly, I would. I think if I was going to play Skitarii again, I would drop the Dragoons and bring more Skitarii Rangers and Vanguard.
Okay.
Run them more. If I'm playing like a pure Skitarii list, running more foot list because they are really, really good. I really feel the fact that we don't have transports. That hurts. But
that hurts.
I really like the idea of having a lot of dudes. They all benefit from mechanicals on the Omnicide. Granted, not as good as the Doctrine Imperatives, but overall, this was a really fun game. I wish I had more bodies, but it was a damn good time.
Okay, well, that's the end of our show. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe.